Everybody ready? Everybody? All
Good.
All right, spring football. I mean, when fans think about spring football, we're still a ways away from the fall. You guys are getting ready for the spring game. What goes into spring football for you and for the players?
Well, I think one, it's an evaluation period for us. We have new players coming in, opportunity to install our systems for new guys that, we had 18 new players that showed up here for in January. And so an opportunity to get a head start on installation before the rest of the guys get here in June. An opportunity to evaluate the younger players who maybe didn't play a bunch a year ago, but now they're thrust into some opportunities and roles where we get to evaluate them to see who can end up being playmakers for us as we start heading into our season prep.
And how much difference with the portal and things like that does this session now, it probably changes a lot of things?
It does. A little thinner numbers, when you lose some guys within spring practices, which we lost a couple of bodies, it limits how many players that can be out here. But the best thing about it is we really get a lot of hands-on, a lot of reps for the guys that are here.
And looking ahead, we've got your spring game, and we've also got the NFL draft. So let's switch gears for a sec. You have a player. We don't know where he's going to go yet, Deonte Banks. A lot of people have been projected to go in the first round. So since we don't know where he's going to go at this point, why don't you just tell us what a team is going to get in Deonte Banks?
I think the biggest thing is, and all the guys that are going to have opportunities to be drafted, which I think we'll have at least 6 to 7 guys to be drafted. But with Deonte, he's a guy that I've gotten a bunch of calls on as of late. A guy that I think is and should be a first-round draft pick. The size, the speed, the skill set. I think the best trait that he has is his ability to forget a play. When bad things happen and you're out on that island and you give up a catch, it takes some guys a play or two to get over it, and sometimes one bad play leads to another one. Deonte's always shown the ability to put that play behind him and get right back up, and he plays with a lot of confidence.
Do teams kind of ask about on the field, off the field? What is that, a little mix of both?
Man, they check their oil pretty firmly. They off the field, on the field, where they're from, what they eat for breakfast. I mean, you take so many calls and you get some of the most crazy questions you can be asked about a player. But obviously, the type of investment that you're going to make into a first-round draft pick, you want to make sure you check all the boxes. And every team has done that, and we've had a lot of people call on them.
Would you want to share what any of those? Crazy?
No, not at all. No, I got to keep those secret.
Okay. Maryland's had a great success over the last 20 years with players in the draft. I mean, do you sense teams are noticing that when some of these guys, be it a Diggs, be it a DJ Moore, just are excelling at the next level?
Anytime, we've had a couple of first-round draft picks here the last 5 years, DJ and Darnell Savage. We've had a bunch of guys drafted here, whether it's day 2 or day 3. To hear your name called is a special opportunity, and we'd love to have them all be first-round draft picks. But the one thing I'm really confident in is that we've developed some players here. To send 7 guys to the combine to be evaluated speaks volumes to the way the players are developed, and I feel like this will be a great weekend for our former Terps that'll have opportunities to go to the next level, which is what it's all about: getting degrees and having opportunities to go to the next level.
And one of the other exciting things, in a way different form, is what you've actually got on right now. That's people from my era so excited to have the second era. That is not the first one. I don't want to. What's that been like? The reception that you've got, and seeing the connection that people have to the script writing.
I mean, all the things have been positive, and obviously I grew up on the Terp script. Not to say I don't love the Maryland Pride helmets, which I'm sure they'll make an appearance here and there, but to have Terp scripts back, as I've said before, when we wore Terps, and this was in the mid-'80s, and in Ralph Friedgen's time, the 3 years I spent with him, his first 3 years, we had some really good teams. We put up really good records, and we did some really nice things, and so to me it's iconic. It's what people know. There's not very many other people called Terps, so it's easily identifiable, and I know our players are excited about it. Obviously, Under Armour has really got behind it, and the fact that my boss allowed us to go back to the script Terp means a lot.
Last thing, back to the original, just what's going on the field. To have Talia coming back, I mean, not a lot of teams in the country get to have a guy like that come back to their team. What's that meant, and how have you even seen it manifest itself here, just in the early spring practices?
Yeah, I mean, I've been around here a long time, and we haven't had a veteran quarterback returning, and whether it's due to injury or just guys' maturation or matriculating, to have Leah be able to come back with what he's done the past 3 years. It's a comfort level that we have, but I think the biggest thing for us, we all know that we want to take the next step, and the next step for us is trying to play championship level football, not just winning football, not just bowl eligible football, but championship level, and he's a guy that has the ability to help us do that.
Although you did love getting that Mayo bath.
Yeah.